This is Joanna Martinez with breaking news for Channel 6 KPTR. Before we start our news story, we would ask that you please support this channel by clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. Channel 6 Action News has a breaking story. The infamous Wattle brothers, who just earlier today staged a daring daylight robbery of the Pleasantville Bank, have been caught. We take you now to a press conference at City Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am John Carter, the Chief of the Pleasantville Police. Welcome to our press conference. I am pleased to announce that Bert and Ernst Wattle were taken into custody earlier today at 1300 hours. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for all of you civilians.
Hey, Mommy, I'm on the news.
The arrest of the Wattle brothers came after hours of relentless hard work by the dedicated men and women of the Pleasantville Police Department. I would like to thank His Honor, the Mayor, for all of his support throughout this investigation. Here to tell you in more detail about this case is the lead investigating officer, Detective First Class, Bernie O'Rourke.
Good evening. I'm Detective O'Rourke. Before I get started, let me first say that this arrest was the result of a team effort. It took the combined effort of our 911 call center operators, the eyes and ears of dozens of patrol officers, and the investigative skills of the Joint Task Force on Organized Crime to identify, find, and arrest the Wattle brothers.
While I'm happy that the Wattle brothers were caught, there's more to this news story than what was reported. Here's what actually happened. I was walking to the bank when a speeding car sped past me to screech to a stop right in front of the bank. Two men jumped out of the car. Each man was carrying a gun which they quickly hid under their clothing.
Now, do you remember your job?
Asked one of the men.
You want me to be intimidating?
Said the other man.
I can do that. There's just one thing. What's intimidating mean?
Robber 1 sighed.
When God passed out brains, were you even in line?
I don't know.
Said Robber 2.
Was that before I was born?
The man in black rolled his eyes.
Never you mind. Just follow my lead. Let's rob us a bank.
I ducked out of sight behind a car that had been parked against a curb.
As I had learned when I was much younger, I pulled out a cell phone to dial 911.
Hello, you have reached a 911 operator. What is the nature of your emergency?
Said a voice. The Pleasantville Bank is being robbed, I told the dispatcher.
There was a long moment of silence during which the dispatcher said nothing.
Two men wearing black masks just ran into the bank. They were carrying guns.
Young lady,
replied the dispatcher.
It is against the law to call this number with a fake report. If someone was robbing the bank, the silent alarm would have gone off.
As the operator hung up, the two bank robbers came running out of the bank. Each of the men were now carrying bulging canvas bags. I raised my hands. Elizabetha! I shouted. With a crash of thunder, I transformed into Elizabetha, the goddess of time and wind. One of the robbers turned to confront me when I stepped out from behind a car. I sucked in a deep breath before leaning forward to blow out a powerful gust of wind. The bank robbers were sent tumbling head over heels down the sidewalk with their bags of money.
Hey, I'm flying.
The man in black shook his head after he found himself lying on the sidewalk.
Let's get out of here.
He shouted after he climbed to his feet.
What was that?
Meanwhile, at police headquarters, an emergency dispatcher received a silent alarm from the Pleasantville Bank. The bank was being robbed.
211 in progress. All available units respond code 10.
After the two bank robbers picked themselves up, they ran down the street.
Look, there's an old woman. Let's take her car.
As the criminals fled, they saw an old lady walking towards her car. Elizabetha frowned. She turned back time and hurried into the store as Beth, just moments before the old woman would have left the shop. "I've lost my mommy," lied Beth. "Can you help me?" Oh, you poor dear, sighed the old woman who took me by my hand. Of course I'll help you. Let's go find your mother. Having distracted the old woman long enough for the robbers to have passed the store, Beth pretended to see her mother. Thank you, she told the old woman as she raced away. In the meanwhile, police responded to the 211 robbery in progress call at the Pleasantville Bank.
We have everything under control, I think.
They charged into the bank. A bank teller pointed at the front door as she told an officer that the robbers had already left. The police officers began to follow a trail of paper money that was laying on the sidewalk.
I found a clue. Woo-hoo for me!
As police sirens sounded in the distance, the two bank robbers hurried further down the sidewalk. As the robbers approached a daycare, the goddess observed a parent exit her car with a toddler in tow. Since the parent had been in a hurry, she had left the car running. The bank robbers took advantage of this carelessness to steal her car. To keep the woman's car from being stolen, Elizabetha went back in time. "Hello," she said to the parent before the woman had even gotten out of her car. "I'm with the daycare. Would you like me to walk your child into the daycare?" The grateful mother handed her son over to Elizabetha prior to racing off. As the bank robbers stood on the sidewalk wondering what to do, Elizabetha went back into time. An internet search found her a nearby dude ranch. After booking an appointment with a cowboy named Luke, Elizabetha went to the ranch where she learned how to use a lasso. It took her a week to learn how to properly throw the looped coil of a rope around a sitting target. The goddess then went to a hardware store to buy a length of rope. She then went forward in time to when the bank robbers were standing on the sidewalk outside the school. After twirling the lasso over her head, she threw the open loop over the two criminals. She then tied the bank robbers to a tree before calling the police. The 911 operator didn't believe that the bank robbers had been caught and tied to a tree until she heard the criminals screaming in the background. She then called an officer to investigate.
Roger on Union 121.
"Let me go!" shouted one of the criminals as police sirens howled in the distance. This, then, is the true story of how the Wattle brothers were finally caught and brought to justice.
It's that woman, I tell you. She did this.